Just 1 second. Zoom's taking the sweet ass time
Take your time, man.
in your life.
All right. We're live, ladies and gentlemen, for the Cage Fury 132 virtual press conference. What a card we have coming our way. Philadelphia, 2300 Arena, June 8th, UFC Fight Pass. I mean, the list of fighters is insane, but I think the list of fighters we have in this press conference today is even more insane. Before I get into the fighters and who's all here, I'm Jake Noecker. I'll be hosting today. We have 7 or 8 media members. When you guys get the mic, just introduce yourselves because you all deserve the name too. And then the way this will work is I'm going to do a little opener here. I'll ask each fighter a question or two, and then I'll throw it to our media panel. So let's meet all of our fighters. Number 1 in the main event, middleweight title challenger, Keenan Pattershuk. Thank you for joining. We also have, who we're still waiting on, but he's on the way, Shamel Finley coming, taking on Bilal Hassan down there with that beautiful northwest view. Bilal, say something so we can see the view.
Welcome to the hood, baby. This is Bellevue, motherfucking Washington, man. It's where the real ones come out of, man. You see that? Beautiful view.
I told you it was a nice view. We also have Ryan Burgos returning for the first time in over 2 years. Teammate Christian McCauley also on the card. And then Cage Fury's general manager, Jason Liederfine. Star-studded cast today. Media, I'm going to open it up to you guys after I get through my first round of question here. But again, thank you all for joining. Expect this to be about a half hour, 40 minutes. So I want to start at the top in the main event. Keenan, you're going for the middleweight belt. This is a fight you wanted, dude. You made this call out a long time ago. So my question is, why Cage Fury? Why Kyle Daukaus?
I mean, Kyle was the only call out, man. He's a belt holder. He's a wily veteran. You know, he's had 6 fights in the UFC. And I need that test to be able to move up to the next level, man. He's kind of like that gatekeeper for me. So.
And just piggybacking off that, I saw in, I believe it was your James Lynch interview, you mentioned, missing that tough call. That's why you want this high caliber. So, like, is that the goal kind of, get past Kyle, use that big win to get UFC's attention again?
100%, man. Like, yeah, it's, the Ultimate Fighter is what it is. I made that call out on him at, like, was it November last year during that Cage Fury card? And, yeah, that got put on ice, unfortunately. He just didn't want the risk of injury. But the moment it didn't pan out, I immediately reached out to my manager to get a hold of Kyle. And thank goodness he took me. I'm humble for the opportunity.
Awesome, man. Really looking forward to that main event and that title fight. And then my next one is for Bilal Hassan down there again. Bilal, my man, big call out with Shamel in their last fight after a very exciting win. What was with the call out? Why did you want the bad man so much?
Man, he just fought for the past, and that's my goal, man, is to get a run for the title, defend the title a couple times, get my experience up, and then UFC. He's just another stepping stone, man. So yeah, that's good, man.
And you're both contenders in the division. So do you see with a win here, title next, or do you want to be UFC before that?
No, definitely. I need my experience. I definitely want to fight for the title and then defend it a couple times, and then after that UFC for sure.
Awesome, man. And then I'll wait to ask Shamel his questions, obviously, till he gets in here, but he is on the way, everybody. So Christian, I'll throw it down to you, my man. Undefeated, taking on Karan Reed. I actually talked to Karan last week. I've known him for several years. He's hype about this match, right? He was like, I was like, hey, do you want me to tell Christian anything? He's like, yeah, man, I hope he brings it. I hope he's ready. The typical stuff, but he's very excited for this matchup, and he feels he can get it done quick. So what's your response to that?
Me too. And, there's a reason why he's excited and he's hyped up for this match because he knows I'm going to show up. I know he's had trouble with opponents pulling out and stuff like that. He knows with me, he knows I'm going to come right in his face. I'm going to come right into his face, and then I'm going to press the action.
Appreciate the earmuffs there, my man. And then that was something he mentioned in the interview too. He said, I just want this fight to happen. I'm sick of opponents pulling out. So you guaranteeing this fight's on, brother?
Up. He knows I'm going to show up. He knows.
Love it, dude. Love it. And then Ryan Burgos, teammate down there. First fight in 2 years, man. We just talked last week, but now that it's a week out from the fight, just tell me about the energy. How good are you feeling ahead of this return?
Yeah, I'm ready to go, man. It's been a long time coming, and I'm just ready to make a statement. Keep the winds flowing.
And brother Shane's going to be in the building. Obviously, a legend in MMA, one of the more crazy fighters out there. We're going to get to see some of that famous Burgos style.
I just hope there's blood, man. I wanna spill some blood, man. That's all I'm hoping for.
Well, Seth on the media panel is not liking that. He doesn't want to clean up any blood that night. And Jason Liederfine, GM of Cage Fury, announcer for Fury Grappling and Muay Thai. Big question for you. You're behind the scenes on this one. So tell the fans why CFFC 132 is an absolute must-see.
Well, I mean, I think the main event just by itself is absolutely amazing when you have a six-fight UFC veteran versus a 5-1 guy on the regional scene trying to break through. You know, since Kyle was released from the UFC, he's regained the title. He's remained undefeated with us and could potentially be on the verge of getting a call back up to the middleweight division in the UFC. I really see the winner of this fight probably getting an immediate call. Keenan is a special guy where, you know, if you told Keenan he was fighting 3 times in one night, he would be mad, but he'd only be mad because he's not fighting 4 times in one night or 5 times in one night. You know, he's that guy. He wants to fight all the time. Unfortunately, he's had some opponents pull out the day of a fight. If you remember that, Keenan, guy said he all of a sudden had staff after the weigh-ins. You know, we fly Keenan all the way in to the East Coast from Canada, and everything's done. He makes weight. He does everything like he's supposed to as a professional. And I think he intimidated the guy a little too much, and all of a sudden he had staff and pulled out, you know. So I'm really, really looking forward to this fight. It's probably one of the biggest regional fights you'll see on any promotion throughout the country. Bilal Hassan, he's really paced himself correctly in his career. He fought a 1-1 and then a 2-0 when he was 1-0. And now he's fighting another guy that's fought for a belt, that fought our champion and took him to a decision. So Bilal is taking a really strategic approach to advancing himself, seeing all these guys back. Ryan Burgos back after a couple-year layoff. He's been in the CFFC cage before. He knows what's going on. So all in all, you know, Emily Martins fighting for the belt as well. If you haven't caught Emily Martins, she was so good as an amateur that at 2-0, no one would fight her anymore. So in the state of Florida, she couldn't turn professional because she didn't have 5 fights. So we had to fly her to North Dakota, where the tribal committee did, you know, they didn't care how many fights you had, they'll let you go pro. We had to turn her pro in North Dakota so we could then bring her back to Florida and fight pro down there. So she's a phenom. King Mo said she's one of the most talented females he sees in American Top Team. So from start to finish with our next gen, all the way up to our professional card, the main event, I mean, it's an absolute banger.
Completely agree. Can't wait to be there for this one, front and center. It's going to be, like you said, a banger start to finish. And then I see, since I started talking, Shamel the Bad Man Finley has joined the building. So Shamel, while I ask you this question, do me a favor, turn your phone sideways. But I already talked to Bilal here, and I would love to get your thoughts too, because you were called out in this one. So what was your reaction when you heard that call out after Bilal's last win?
Hey, can you hear me?
You're good, brother. You're good.
Yeah. The call out. Oh yeah, I remember. During the call out, I was on vacation. I was on a cabin trip with my friends. We were celebrating a birthday. I saw the call out maybe a day or two after, or I tuned into the fights because I had a teammate fighting that night, I believe. I think Nathan Williams was on that card. So I tuned in to see that, and then a couple minutes or a day later, people were texting me, "Hey, so somebody called you out. Da da da. You got to do this. You got to do that. That's crazy." So then I went back. I watched it, looked it up. I didn't watch the fight. I just kind of like skipped through to like no way. But yeah, what I thought of it, I thought it was. I told Bilal already. I thought it was corny. But I thought it was exactly what someone like him needs to do to be blessed with the opportunity that he got.
So you're viewing this as Bilal using you as a stepping stone?
I'm viewing it as that he used entertainment to propel himself, whereas I used like actual fights and results. So I think it was strategically, it was like the smartest thing to do. I think everybody else at the top of the division, in the promotion at the time, was either just coming off of a fight or, just unavailable. My last time out was a loss, so I think it was just like he's trying to get there. His fights aren't. I think if we really like look back on it, I don't know how entertaining he is before the highlight, the one highlight that they have been playing over and over to like convince people of how entertaining he is.
And then I'm going to pass it to our media in 1 second, but I do see Bilal smiling. So, Bilal, what are your thoughts on that?
What's not entertaining about my style, bro? I mean, my first fight wasn't the most entertaining. I thought Jerry Yeshi, he just wanted to crotch the whole time. But my second fight, man, Ortega finished him in the first round with body shots. That was also a highlight as well. And of course, my last fight, man, how could that not be? How could you not play that over and over again? But Shamel's got it right. I mean, he is the stepping stone, and yeah, I'm just excited to get in the cage with this man.
Yeah, I think we're all excited to see it go down. I'm going to stop taking up so much mic time now. I'm going to throw it to Dylan Rush MMA, courtesy the poster courtesy of Dylan. So Rush, and before I throw it to you, just all media, try to keep it 5-6 minutes, and then if we have more time at the end, we'll circle back around just so everyone has time. But Rush, take it away, my man.
I'm the most famous Russian here, or most famous Dylan in here now that Dylan Napoleon's a little bit late. I got a few questions. Coach Mimi, I hope you're ready to answer a question real quick. I just wanted to hear your thoughts about this fight. Christian McCauley coming back to the cage. What do you think about this fight for your father?
I think it'll be good.
Good. And Christian,
Like, kick his ass.
how has Coach Mimi helped you?
I'm gonna kick his ass. What happened?
How has Coach Mimi helped you in preparation for this one?
She's helped me from the start of my career. Just motivation wise. Like doing this as a career to provide for her. And then I'm leading by example. How hard I work. All the hours that I put in. Right, she sees it. Sometimes she's here with me late at night when the lights are off. Right, I'm doing rope work. I'm doing ladder work. I'm hitting the bag. Right, I'm doing ground and pound work on the bag. Right, she's copying me. She's watching it. Right, so I'm setting the example for her.
Mm-hmm. You entered this bout with a perfect 3-0 professional record following an undefeated amateur career, but your last fight was almost a year ago to the date of this upcoming one. So if all goes well next week, do you hope to be a bit more active moving forward and maybe even get another fight under your belt before the end of this year?
Oh, 100%. At least one more fight before the end of the year, maybe even two. I don't know when they're coming back to Jersey. Hopefully it's like maybe Labor Day weekend. I can do that, or if it's some other time in September, and then maybe one more in December. That'll be 3 fights for the year.
Mm-hmm. 3 pro fights, 3 big finishes. Do you have a sense of pride knowing that you're a fan favorite type of fighter? You always put on a show for the people in the crowd and the viewership from around the world.
100%. I'm always going there bell to bell. I'm trying to finish my opponent, whether it's knockout, whether it's submission. I'm just trying to beat the crap out of that guy. You know what I mean? I'm not focused too much on keeping my 100% finish rate. But like I said, from one belt to the next, I'm trying to finish him the entire time.
Oh yeah, man. Good luck, man. I appreciate it. Ryan Burgos, I got a similar question. You're undefeated as an amateur, 1-0 as a pro with all victories coming by way of finish. But you've had a long journey to get back to the CFFC cage. What can you tell me about the obstacles you've had to overcome and how good it feels to be back and to be ready to fight?
Yeah, man. So like I had a knee injury and that set me out for a while, and then just trying to play catch up is what it seemed like, it took me a little bit to get back into the flow of things, and then finally I'm ready to go, and I'm getting the opponents falling out left and right, and it was just tough. It was annoying. It was frustrating, but now we're locked in. I got my opponent now. This dude's showing up. It just feels great to be back. I'm ready to go.
Awesome, man. I know you want to spill blood, and I know a lot of that stuff was out of your control, but what can fans expect to see, man? What can fans expect to see when they tune into this fight, but when they tune into any Ryan Burgos fight?
So it's just in our blood, man. We just go forward it's a Burgos thing. Like it's constant pressure from the first bell to the last, and like what Christian said, I'm always trying to finish the fight at all times, but I know I can go 15 minutes, and I would like to show that at some point, man, for sure. Just need somebody to bring me there.
Definitely. Speaking of your older brother Shane, there have been rumors that Shane might be moving down to Tampa, a place where CFFC likes to host events. Would you like to have a fight down in Florida after this one?
I mean, I wanted to travel always to fight, but whatever happens, happens. I'm down for that for sure.
And then last one is Coach Mimi helped you at all in your training camp for this one?
Not too much, not too much, but her presence is always known. When we're sparring and she's watching, her presence is always known. That's for sure.
Definitely, man. And then last one, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it, man. Good to see you. Last one for Jake Noecker, our host. You asked a similar question to Jason, but I want to ask you. I just want to hear your thoughts. You are a CFFC expert, so to speak. What do you think about this card, man? What are we in for next week?
If I broke down the whole card, we'd be here all night. So I'll stick with the fighters on this call. Starting with the top, Keenan Pattershuk, Kyle Dawkins. I mean, that's like as high level a title fight that you can get on the regional scene. That's a high level fight in any promotion in the world. It's going to be an absolute banger. Dawkins is undefeated. Pattershuk's riding a very hot streak. I mean, just two guys super hungry. I talked to Dawkins, super hungry to defend. Pattershuk, super hungry to get that belt, make it to the next step. Both guys want the UFC. When there's two sides that motivated going into a fight with that much skill, guaranteed to be a banger straight up. So that's your main event. And then, I mean, I don't need to say much about Bilal and Shamel. I mean, the beef is there. The styles are there. The title contention is there. There's so much on the line in that fight with two great personalities. I'm just excited. That's like a Max and Justin, Dustin and Dan Hooker style. Just they're going to go to town. They're going to put on a show. And then you got Ryan and Christian, both training Tiger Schulman's dog gym, dog fighters, both undefeated, styles all over, finishing instinct all over. Everybody I talked to is excited to see Burgos in there again. Very highly touted prospect who we haven't seen in way too long. And then every Cage Fury fan I know knows the name Christian McCauley. I'm literally looking at Christian's face on a poster right there. It's just name recognition on this card. And with the name recognition, high level skill. So don't miss out. Don't miss out. June 8th, CFFC 132.
Thank you, man. Good luck to all the fighters, guys.
June 14th.
June 14th. Today's June 8th.
Oh, June 8th today. I think I
Tomorrow's
said that
June 8th.
earlier too. There's too much MMA.
Get ready.
It's June 14th. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, guys.
But before I throw it to the next media member, Jason, you just mentioned in the chat some possible dates. Do you care to share?
Well, we'll be back in Atlantic City, looking like August. We're just getting it finalized for with the commission now. July 26th, we are approved for Tampa. We do plan on going back to Tampa again this year. Looks like in September. I believe we may have a Saturday for that one. So a Saturday in Tampa is definitely going to be a wild event. We sell places out on Thursdays, so I can't imagine what it's going to be like on a Saturday in Tampa. There's been just so much talent down there, so many people. It's just absolutely wild. Shamil, you fought for us in Tampa, right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so he knows the energy down there. He knows what it's like down there. It's pretty wild. So we've got North Dakota again. We got a lot of things coming up, and then throw in the Division I wrestling, throw in Muay Thai, throw in pro grappling, and CFFC has a busy year.
Love it. Love it. And then no stranger to CFFC, 4 ounces of freedom. Zach Kaufman, your turn, buddy.
Thanks. I'm going to start with Keenan. This is a fight that I think we've both been waiting since September. You were on the card with Kyle back in September until your opponent got staff or whatever the excuse was. But I caught you down, down in Tunica when you fought Christian Echoes. And at that point, I was saying that was title ready at that point. With then you took a side mission. You went out to A1 Combat, not to promote another promotion. And side mission, you fought there like a week before what was supposed to be the CFFC fight. How has it been just sitting since September because of Tough and everything else that's been going on?
Man, absolutely painful. Sorry, Jason was saying that before. I like to fight every 2 months, man, if I can. So yeah, being on ice for 8-9 months, it's been horrible. I'm one of those people that I'm a nutcase if I can't compete. So I've got to throw myself into training, which is always great, and I've made some big leaps and bounds since that. Yeah, no, I'm going insane. I need to get in that cage more than anything in the world. It's killing me.
Awesome. And then over to Ryan Burgos. Kind of same question to you too. I was at your pro debut. The talk out of that fight were, even leading into the fight, that you might be better than Shane as you progress. Then you've been out for issues on your end, issues on the opponent's side for 2 years. How has it been on your end too to kind of just wait and always have these like ups and downs leading into another fight?
Yeah, it's so frustrating. Like I this sport is just crazy unforgiving. We all know this now at this point, but yeah, I just go crazy when I can't fight, like Keenan said. But so the goal is my amateur career. I did 3 fights, 5 months. Like I felt real good going into that. So I'm just gonna try to keep the ball rolling. Hopefully a big W, big finish. Just keep the ball rolling. Keep getting these fights under my belt.
Awesome. And then over to Jason Lederman. You know, we keep seeing veteran. We don't talk enough about the military side of the veteran wording. You obviously have done your service. We thank you for that and all. So back in the day, CFFC has done. They did the grappling event down in North Carolina, South Carolina. I forget what Carolina it was. You've done the Coachella, California card prior before. Is there anything in the works for something like a vettix.org or some sort of like third party to kind of like offer vets discount tickets or free tickets?
Well, we almost always offer tickets to veterans, but one of the problems we found, and we do it through VetTix, which is actually how I got started in this business, is I got tickets through VetTix for a show in Memphis, and now I'm director of operations for CFFC. One of the problems we've run into with a lot of the VetTix now is a lot of no-shows because they've opened it up to first responders, ambulance drivers, firemen, police, all these different people, and they get tickets and they don't show up to the events. So we've had to scale that back a little bit. But we just did a grappling show at the Air Force Base, Air National Guard Base in Savannah, Georgia a few months ago. We pulled that off in about a 4-week turnaround. It ended up being an absolutely phenomenal show. So we're working with some companies and some sponsors now to try to increase the presence of us doing military events, because at the end of the day, it's a cool recruiting event for the military itself. And we just love doing it. It's a lot more painful logistically wise because everyone has to get a background check to get on the base, and there's all kinds of different things. We couldn't sell tickets, we couldn't have fans, but we still made it work.
Awesome. And then Jake, you cool if I do one more, since I think Bilal's transitioning back. I'm not sure. There we go. All right, you good, Bilal?
Just have to kiss real quick.
Okay. So this is kind of for both Bilal and Shamel. This is obviously, I think we can feel probably safe saying this is possibly a #1 contender fight. You guys are probably going to fight the winner of Max versus, I forget Max's name, opponent coming next month.
Guiones.
Well, I know his last name. His opponent though from
Villamil.
There is what you guys do then. How do you guys see this fight going, and do you think this does put you in that next title shot?
I guess I'll go first. How I see this fight going, I think it's gonna be a good night for me. I think the styles make fights. Bilal, he has one path to victory, or one style or way that he can try to win, and it's the path that I'm really the most dangerous in. Just punch for punch or power for power. And then outside of that, if we're just going skill for skill, it's the most 50-50 path that he has. And for me, I have so many ways, to get it done. And so that's just how I feel about the fight. And then after that, when you have the guys, Villamil and Max, that's very entertaining to me. I think Max is going to trash Villamil. I think all the goat shed guys suck. Yeah, so Max, interestingly enough, we've fought before as amateurs, and that's a dope one. I'd like to get that back, but it's all respect, but that's a good fight. So I'm rooting for him in that one, and I'll get mine done.
Yeah, man, Shamel's a smart man. You got something right in that for sure. It's definitely going to be a good night for him. Yeah, like you said, I only have one path to victory, but it's a very high percentage path, and so I see this fight going a bunch of ways, but I think he's gonna make a mistake, catch him slipping, or I'm just ready for a 15-minute.
It's low percentage. He just said it. I would need to make a mistake. He would have to catch me slipping. He has. If we're just going on straight facts, we don't even have to talk about the emotion behind it. The man has, I don't know, maybe one person that he's fought with a winning record He's got like 6 people he's fought with 0-0 records. He's not been out there with anything close or comparable or comparable to me. Like, you're talking about one path. We're going on probability. Like, that's it. That makes it low percentage. I can have my way with it, whatever way, wherever I want to take it. That's where it's going to go.
And just a note, I think our flyweight division, the CFFC, is probably one of the deepest, most talented in any promotion in the country. Bad Mastrian, Israel Galvan, who actually won but didn't make weight, which vacated our title. You've got Shamel, you've got Bilal, you've got Max Quiones. Any one of those guys on any night could be our champion or called up. It's such a deep weight class that it's so entertaining. There are all these finishes. It's absolutely amazing that we have this weight class at CFFC.
Easily the most stacked flyweight division in any regional promotion. I mean, the names go on and on. But let's get it to our next media member, Jason Hagholm. You're next on the list, and everybody about a 15, maybe 20-minute warning. So, Jason, take it away.
Thank you so much, Jake. My first question's here for Keenan. Keenan, as a fellow Canadian, first of all, what was your decision to not take the Canadian MMA route and, have most of your fights in the United States, obviously with CFFC?
Man, it was way easier to get fights down in the States. There's just so many numerous promotions, fighters willing to scrap and go all the time. I'm not a knock on any of the Canadian promotions, but lots of them, they got to lock into like a 2-year deal. And for me, that's just it's not even kind of doable. Like me and Zach were talking there before. I need to fight all the time. I'm not a guy who sits on ice and just slowly coasts. I need action constantly, and yeah, having that access to all the promotions down in the United States, it couldn't. I was able to rack up fights one after the other.
And as well, here, obviously, you're fighting Kyle Dawkins for the middleweight championship. What would it mean to you, Keenan, to not only win the championship, but there was another Canadian that was middleweight champion in CFC. That's Aaron Jeffrey. That catapulted him to a major promotion like Bellator. What would that mean to you to be the second Canadian middleweight champion for CFFC?
Oh man, it'd be absolutely incredible. It's been a long time since even like Western Canada has really had a front runner in MMA. So I'm really excited to go in there, put on a show. As long as I get my way, finish him. And yeah, I'll be the new front runner for Western Canada for MMA.
And as well, just looking at your record, all 5 wins are first round finishes. You're taking on obviously a serious veteran of the sport that's been in the UFC, come back to CFFC, won the title, defended it. He's obviously got the experience here. Obviously, you can get this done in the first round, but are you expecting this one to go to the 4, even 5th rounds here?
I like to finish fights quickly. That being said, I got a bottomless gas tank. It's probably my best attribute by far. If it goes 4 or 5 rounds, it goes 4 or 5 rounds. I don't see that happening unless by some year I'm stuck underneath him for 5 rounds, which a lot of people haven't got to see me grapple yet. But for the people that train with me all over the place, they know I'm no slouch. I'm really hard to hold down. I think Kyle's sleeping on me a little bit, and I'm going to surprise a lot of people.
And last one for you, Keenan. Obviously, we know that you got, snubbed on this upcoming season of The Ultimate Fighter. Same with Jamie Siraj. What's with the Canadians getting snubbed on this season?
Man, I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know. They're scared of the Canadian boys. I don't know. We're game. We're ready.
That we are, absolutely. Next question's here for Bilal. Bilal, obviously, you're coming off one of the most impressive knockouts of 2024. I had it as my knockout of the year up until Max Holloway back at UFC 300. How much growth have you had as a fighter, on social media, your presence in the MMA scene since that knockout? Because that was one of the most viral KOs this year.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, the amount of world-class fighters and athletes I've got to train with in the last year is just absolutely ridiculous. Between here at Warrior Camp and going down to Vegas to train Extreme Couture, the experience level I've jumped in the last 9 months is absolutely insane. And from like a strength and conditioning side of things, I'm in the best shape of my life. You know, a year ago, I thought I was reaching new heights, and now it's something completely different. So, no, I'm coming into this fight not only probably twice the fighter I was last November, but yeah, the horsepower and cardio is disgusting. So I'm really excited to put myself to the test and see what I can do.
I'm on the same wave, man. Same wave, bro. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, attaboy.
Go, bro. Let's go. We're on the same wave, dude. Exact same thing as me, man. Hats off, Keenan.
Bilal, obviously as well, you know, you like to be the showman. We saw you do the moonwalk after your last KO, and you made the music video, Shamel You Smell. What was the thought process of that? And Shamel, for you, what did you think of the rap video that Bilal made with your name as the diss track?
Yeah, that wasn't I'll let Shamel. I wanna hear Shamel's take on it.
Man, I appreciate it. I think it's for I appreciate the he's not the first, second, or third. I don't know what I do to these guys. I promise you, I just show up to fights, I fight, and I get my check and I'm out. But for some reason, I always attract the type of fighters that just they like the talk or the back and forth, or they well, he's the first. I guess he really wanted to stand out to me. He's the first to dedicate a whole song to me and all that. But I just appreciate if you don't have fans or haters or somewhere in between where they're like both at the same time, you're not doing anything right, or you're not doing something right. So I think the lyrics are trash. I think
Damn it, bro! That hit home, bro.
Not, but the I don't know. It that threw me off, but in a good way. It's like, oh yeah, he's got time on his hands.
Oh yeah, I got lots of time.
Bilal, I'm assuming that's gonna be the walkout.
We'll see, man. We'll see how I'm feeling, but it is a pretty good song, man.
How do you think it's gonna age?
I think it's gonna age really well, bro. I think it's gonna age really well. It's gonna be a good little. I'll put a little bit of our highlights into the second music video, bro.
Yeah, I love when I get guys like you, and then I get to turn them into reels and use the things they said. It's like, I don't know. If you look it up, I have an actual track record that you can go back and see. You watch the guys, how they talk about me before, and then you watch what happens to them in the fight. So it's always, I think that's what's entertaining about it. Like,
fair, bro. I respect that. And bro, I know you love your movies. You know, you think this might be a movie, and it is a movie, you motherfucker. It's my movie. I'm the main motherfucking character, bro.
Delusional.
Gotta be a little bit delusional to do this shit, man.
Oh,
no.
shit.
A little bit delusional.
Go ahead. Can't. You can't. You cannot. Just tell me you can't, please.
Jake, it's still on Jason.
Last one for me, honestly, to the other Jason. What do you think? What do you attribute the success of CFFC with the Canadians? Because you guys have hit like home runs each and every time. Like I said, Aaron Jeffrey, Jasmine Jasdavicius, and now Keenan, obviously, with the success he's had.
Well, I mean, I think it's our relationship with people and understanding that we're not looking to just sell a bunch of tickets with local cans that can fill up an arena, which is the MO for most promotions, right? They don't have a TV deal. They're not really trying to promote people. They're just trying to put on events to sell tickets. We're not. We're trying, our event sells itself. We're putting guys, if you saw how much money I spend on flights, CFFC spends on flights to fly talent in from all over the country. I've flown, I think this is probably the fourth time I've flown Keenan in a corner in. I'm flying Bilal in. I just booked, I think Shamel, I think I just booked tickets for you. Your flight. You know, we book travel for guys all over the country because we're looking for the best people. And that's what we do different than everybody else. If that best person's in, we brought people in from Mexico, Canada, Brazil, all over the United States. That's what we do. And that's what we're going to keep doing to put on the best fights to get people to the next level.
And that's why I love the CFFC promotion. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you, Jason. Great questions there. And now we're throwing it live from Mom's basement. Tyler Little, take it away.
All right. What's up, everyone? Thank you for the opportunity. And I'll start with Canada first. So, Keenan, this question's for you. Obviously, we know the champion, Kyle Dawkins. We've seen him compete in the UFC. We've seen him compete in the CFFC cage for a number of years now. And with all due respect to the champion, I feel like he's pretty predictable. We all kind of know what he's about. He likes to grapple. He wants to take people down to the ground, and he wants to darce you. For you, somebody with your background, someone with your skill set, why is that strategy not going to work against you come fight night?
Yeah, man. Like you said, he is very predictable. There's only a set couple things he's good at, but I saw in a previous interview he thinks the same thing about me, that I'm only have a right hand and some leg kicks, which I love it. I love it that he thinks my tools are so limited. Yeah, no, he's in for a big shock, man. I think he thinks he's gonna be able to dive for my ankles and keep me to the floor the whole time, and it's gonna be the case. Like I said, I'm coming into this fight with whole new load of experience. I'm at the top end physically. Yeah, I'm gonna do something special.
Thank you, sir. And I'm gonna shift it over to Macaulay. Christian, I was at your last fight. It was at CFFC 120. I was sat cage side for it, and there was a lot that happened over the course of that fight. I thought it was a close fight, but the thing that stood out to me, in my opinion, the reason why you won that fight was your ability to make adjustments. I thought you did excellent at doing that. I thought your decision making, your fight intelligence all shined through, and that was the reason that you ended up winning the fight on fight night. When you've had to make adjustments, when you're in a tough fight, you have to make adjustments. Do you feel like you are more mentally prepared to take on an opponent like Karan Reed? Do you feel like, since you have like a baseline, something to kind of go off of, that you're more mentally prepared than he is going into this fight if the going gets tough?
Yeah, I've seen some of his interviews where he thinks that he has more grit than me, and that it comes down to it, he's gonna be able to outgrit me. I couldn't disagree anymore. I've been through really tough fights. One of my last amateur fights was against a pro with 7 fights. And it was a tough fight. I got hit with some good shots, and I was able to dig through. And I pride myself in that. Look, if I need to pick you apart, I'll pick you apart. But if the going gets tough and it becomes a dog fight, I can sit there, I can bite my mouthpiece, and I can throw. You know what I mean? I'm in there with pro boxers, that are trying to take my head off. So like I said, if I have the technique where if I want to pick them apart, I can pick them apart. But if the going gets tough, I'll be able to outlast them.
Thank you. That I'm good, Jake. Thank you.
Sorry, I was just answering Anik's DM. And now we're going to throw it to Seth. Take it away, my man. And Seth, announce your last name, because I don't want to butcher that for you, bro.
It is Fasano. That is my last name. Yes. First question for Ryan Burgos. You said you've been going crazy off this 2-year layoff that you've had, but do you think it was at least a good opportunity for you to get back in the lab, work on your skills, and come out really ready to make a big statement here at your next fight?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it just makes me focus on different aspects. And yeah, I think it'd be good for me in the end. I'm still young. That bothers me that in those 2 years that I didn't get any real wins under my belt, but mentally I'm in a good spot, and I think it happened for me, not to me.
Thank you. Next question for Shamel. With how confident Bilal is coming into this fight, are you using it as motivation to put on a spectacular performance against him come next Friday, or is it just kind of another fight for you and just business as usual?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it always motivates me when I get guys that underestimate me or don't really understand what they're going out there for. I think it's it helps my opponents better when they kind of fly under my radar. Once you let me know that you feel like you're dangerous, or you feel like you're a bully, or you feel like you're something you're not, and I feel like you have this false confidence, or you don't believe in my skills. Yeah, it's definitely motivating. But as every time I am around him, or he speaks, or just anything, I see how excited he is to be here, but little kid excited, like candy store excited. And I'm just like, okay, this is the highlight. He doesn't understand You know, it's like watching somebody. It's like watching little kids. They'll go. You tell them don't touch the stove. They don't understand the danger. So it's like that's how I feel about this fight, and but it's how I feel in a lot of other my fights. I don't know what I got to do. It's like I go out there and I literally take people out, and I still end up getting people like him that don't understand it until you're out there with me.
And are we going to see a diss track in response to Bilal's track?
Hey man, I can't give y'all all the views in one little go. You gotta if we saw a diss track, it's gonna be way better. Like that was I don't know. First of all, let me finish them so then my lyrics can actually be true. Like this man is just delusional.
And my last question is for Bilal. Reflecting on your career thus far, you started your amateur career in 2021, and in 3 years, you're basically one win away from a title fight. Reflecting on that, and being 3-0 right now in the professional circuit, how does it feel to come up so fast and just be one fight away from the title with a big win here?
It feels meant to be, man. But to answer Chamel's thing right there, of course, dude. Where else would I rather be? Where else would I rather be doing, bro? This is what I love to do. I'm living the dream right now. I still feel like a kid at the candy store, bro. Of course. So I'm having fun with it. I'm having fun in the cage as well, and yeah, can't wait to put this guy's lights out. He's just another stepping stone in my career here. And so yeah, I'm just hyped, man. I'm so excited.
How would you do it? How would you put my lights up? And then if that doesn't work, what would you do?
Shit, I'll probably hit you in the body a little bit, make you give up there, kick you in the legs. Shit, I might even take you down, bro. We'll see. I got a couple tools.
This man, he don't even know. He's like, I get like you
Too
don't.
Many options. Like you said, I'm delusional, bro. I'm delusional. I love this shit. You got to be a little delusional.
No, I appreciate. I remember being in your position, young and just I'm still young, but younger and with less experience. And I had guys that I'm like, yeah, I can beat him or I'll fight him. And I went in there and I did it when everybody was like, oh, that's a huge step up, da da da. So I get it, but the difference is you just have no dog in you, and I don't know, it's just
I got that dog. I swear I'm gonna bring it out, bro.
Dog.
Yeah, bro. I'll go in that cage, piss in there. I'll start barking, bro. I'll start barking.
I have no more questions after that.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I'm pretty sure everyone would appreciate if you didn't piss in the cage, but whatever you got to do, brother. Whatever you got to do, Bilal. And Anik, I skipped over you because I'm an idiot. I was actually texting you and just got distracted. So scrap news, millions, representing them all. Take it away, bro.
You're good, brother. So I'm going to start off with Keenan. You trained at Extreme Couture for a week in February with people like Sean Strickland. What's the most important thing you learned from these guys, like such high-level guys, in preparation for this fight?
I mean, countless little things, man. How tricks those guys have at that level and just their mindset. It was over the course of about 2 weeks, and just so many little experience points I picked up off those guys. Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing, besides some very key grappling techniques that I picked up in the last year from those guys, is just mindset. Sean being included, the guy's an animal. He's got a persona, but if you're willing to get in there and be a dog and work hard, he's willing to teach you. So yeah, no, a lot of very important things.
Awesome, man. And one more from me. I'm going to end this off. Jason, you're a CFFC announcer, right? You recently had Renato Money Moicano on the broadcast. What other superstars are you looking to bring to the mic now that you've announced the next two shows?
Well, we always like to have our boy CM Punk when he's available. Unfortunately, this month he's going to Scotland for a WWE event. He should be available in July. We've had Dean Thomas, Hanato Moicano, you name it. We try to get people on there, especially for wrestling. You know, with Division I wrestling, we've had Olympic champions on there, world champions, NCAA champions helping us out, Shane Sparks. So depending on where we're at, what we're doing, it's kind of gonna determine who we are. But we're always, if you saw how many people hit us up to say, hey, can I be an announcer for you? Can I commentate for you? There's 5,000 in our inbox, but we truly want to take the best and the fans. We've had a lot of fans say we want to fight for you just to get interviewed by CM Punk. You know, we want to get talked by John Morgan. We want to get interviewed by him. So again, not only do we look for the best fighters, but we look for the best commentating team as well. Subpar announcers, but commentator team is always top of the line.
Thank you, my man.
I like that subpar announcer line. You're more than subpar. Get out of here with that. But guys, before we end this, I want to do something a little differently for the first time. I want to go to each fighter. Don't need a long spiel. I just want to know what round, what method, how's your fight finishing? Let's start at the top. Keenan, how you winning that belt?
First or second round knockout or TKO, my man.
Love it. Excited for it, man. Shamel, I don't see Bilal here, but how you getting that win?
First round knockout or second round submission.
All right, Bilal. Shamel said he's getting a first round knockout or a second round submission. How do you see the fight ending? Decision. That's grueling. And then
Down the middle.
love it, bro. Love it. Ryan Burgos, how's the return go?
First round finish, man, by any means necessary. By any means necessary.
Christian McCauley, last but not least.
First round knockout.
Jason, you stepping in there? You getting to finish that night? That's to you, Leader Fine. Yeah, I was just kidding. But...
yeah, I hope so.
Not over me. Well, everybody, that's the end of this Cage Fury 132 press conference. June 14th, UFC Fight Pass or in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena. As you can tell from the whole presser, stacked top to bottom. Can't wait for this card. Everybody who came, thank you so much. Have a great rest of camp. Rest up. Have a great weight cut. And see you all skinny at the scales.